All right, welcome to the finals of the fall 2022 OQL USA Pop Solos iteration. We are joined by our four players tonight, and they are first.
Hi, everyone. I'm David Plotkin. I'm an entomologist from Gainesville, Florida, and I'm excited to be here.
All right, second, we have.
Hi, I'm Ben McIntyre. I'm a reader evaluator for standardized tests right now. Also happy to be here. Fun to be back in the final.
I don't think I knew that about you, Ben, so that's a new fact there.
Yeah.
Next, we have.
Hey everyone, I'm Tucker Warner. I live in Brooklyn, but zooming in from Connecticut today. At this point, my occupation, I believe, is quizzer, and I am both excited and extremely intimidated to be playing in a final against these three.
All right, and finally.
Hi, Dan Burgess. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a lawyer and also happy to be here.
Yeah, between Dan and Ben, we have represented the majority of championships in this format thus far. So no slouches here. We'll go ahead and begin with David's three. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Great. Good luck. David, Hollywood loves to reward films about Hollywood. That's last week's set.
This is
Yes,
last
it
week.
is.
Say, I knew the answer last week. I think.
Yeah, that's funny because I think I just reloaded something that I downloaded very recently. That's amazing.
All right.
The recording was going so well too.
The answer was Argo, right?
Yeah, it sure was. All right, I'm gonna mash that. I'm gonna click load questions. I must not have clicked load questions. I'm sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
I even have to unshare to make sure it's right. That's so annoying. Anyway. I apologize. I do know how to use this technology, I promise. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I may edit this out eventually. I may not.
Yeah.
I feel like 80% of the time they make a remark like, "Oh, they're definitely cutting that out." It always makes it to air, like on show, like because they say that way too much for that not to be true. But okay. All right, everybody's still looking at that, right?
Yep.
Okay. David. No, those aren't questions. What? Okay. Okay. David. A 2004 episode of Peppa Pig titled Mr. Skinny Legs was banned in what country? The episode focused on Peppa overcoming her fear of spiders, learning that spiders can't hurt her. However, in this country, some species like the funnel web and the redback are famously quite dangerous.
Australia.
It is banned in Australia. Next.
They are arachnids, but that still counts as entomology-related content.
Fair enough.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's not what the quad is about, as you can probably tell from the phrasing. But anyway. Next, the Mexican state of Sinaloa is well known for what dish similar, if not equivalent to a flour tortilla, taquito, but named from the Spanish word for an orchestral instrument. Yes, sometimes this dish has corn tortillas too.
Flauta.
Yes, flautas is correct. And the soundtrack to what 80s film spawned several hits, with more minor songs including Lady, Lady, Lady by Joe Esposito and I'll Be Where the Heart Is by Kim Carnes.
Hmm.
Ten seconds.
Dirty Dancing.
Incorrect. Ben?
I'll pass.
Tucker?
I'll pass.
Dan?
Pass.
You were not so far off. It is Flashdance.
Sure. Yeah.
Ben? Now a classic material for the soles of summery wedge heels, Salvatore Ferragamo began using what lightweight natural product due to an inability to afford steel during World War II?
Rubber.
No. Tucker?
Pass.
Dan?
Cork.
It is cork.
Ah.
Cork wedges came from then. Next, picked up as a mid-season replacement by the relatively new UPN network. What comedy starring a certain Ms. Norwood ran for 6 seasons and became the earliest hit for that network?
Moesha.
Yes, that is the last name of Brandy, which would make the question like a whole level easier. Ben, What Tin Pan Alley hit of the 1910s is sung before soccer games of West Ham United? The title objects fly so high and nearly reach the sky, then, like my dreams, they fade and die. West Ham has appropriately never won the First Division or Premier League.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
It is I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Good job. Yes. Tucker. Which singer and actress argued about splitting custody of the golden retriever Tarzan with Shawn Mendes after their 2021 split? Both Tarzan and her Pomeranian Eugene Fitzherbert were named for Disney characters, which feels appropriate for an actress who has played a live-action Disney princess.
Cabello or
It
Cabello.
is Camila Cabello, I think, but all of those are acceptable. Yes. Next. Then home to an NFL team that has since left town, what domed stadium just west of the Mississippi River hosted the 2005 Final Four? You may give its original name, its name at the time, or its weird current name.
Why can I not remember the name of the building?
10 seconds.
At NRG Stadium.
No, sir. David.
Pass.
Ben.
Edward Jones Dome.
Yes, that was the name at the time. Before that, it was the Transworld or TWA Dome, and it is currently called the Dome at America's Center, which is my favorite Philip K. Dick novel.
Is that the which NFL team used to be there? Is it the Rams?
The Rams, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To find the treasure, you must go to the Dome at America's Center.
Yes. It's a clue on where the world is Carmen Sandiego. Tucker. In dialect coach Eric Singer's technique critique videos for Wired, he says Natalie Portman sounds strange to us now because of her spot-on evocation of what historical figure in a 2016 film?
Jackie Kennedy.
It is Jackie Kennedy. She really does that 60s voice, and it really is off-putting. Yes, Dan. A common meme says that film distributor A24's name stands for a 24-year-old guy, which will think this is the best movie ever made. What 51-year-old woman director has released 2013's The Bling Ring and 2020's On the Rocks with the studio? She has also signed on to a Priscilla Presley film in production.
Coppola.
It is Sofia Coppola, yes. Next.
Also guilty.
A 2022 inductee into the Toy Hall of Fame, what electronic Hasbro product and not a Nintendo was in the final box opened by Jake Doyle in 8-Bit Christmas? Its packaging often depicted a clown face.
A light bright.
It was a light bright. Good. Yes. I always had the kids had made a clown face, which is totally what I made on my light bright. And yes, next. Though considered by Kurt Cobain to replace Chad Channing as the drummer for Nirvana, what member of the band Sybil eventually became the drummer for Hole from 1992 to 1998 and was able to quit her job at the Microsoft warehouse?
I think I know every other member of the band Hole, but I don't think I know the drummer, so I will pass.
Okay, David.
Pass.
Tucker.
I'm not going to get it in time. Pass.
Ben.
Pass.
That is Patty Schemmel, spelled like that.
Okay.
All right, and so we have 3-3-2-2, very close. 6, 8 owns and 1x each for David and Dan after round 1. We will move on to round 2. David. In 1869, who inaugurated professional baseball as we know it by signing the 10 best baseball players in Cincinnati to year-long contracts and founding the Red Stockings? His brother George was the shortstop and likely best player on the team.
I was hoping there wouldn't be baseball. Not because I have anything against it, I just don't know very much about it. Um,
10 seconds.
Doubleday.
No, sir. Tucker?
Burns.
No. Ben?
I will pass.
Dan?
Yeah, pass.
It's Harry Wright. His brother was George Wright.
That's right.
Okay.
I promise there
Um,
is also a George Burns baseball player.
There is definitely a guy named George Burns who was a baseball
I'll say,
player.
my knowledge of this era of baseball comes from the episode where Mr. Burns wants to
Yeah.
field a bunch of
So I mean, if
if you ask about one of those
did
guys, I
sign the
might
10
get
best
it.
baseball players. David. Marlon Brando and Tokyo Joe and James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause helped create demand for what type of outerwear that moved straight from military to civilian style in the 1940s and 50s.
Ah. A motorcycle jacket.
No, Ben?
Bomber jacket.
Yeah, it is. It's a bomber jacket.
Okay.
I could have taken flight jacket or anything like that, but that is specifically true with the fur. Anyway, David, the 1983 Final Four took place in a subterranean arena on a Southwestern College campus that has been named Wise Pies Arena and Dream Style Stadium, but is known to virtually everyone. By what nickname?
I feel attacked by that virtually everyone because I don't know this.
Virtually everyone who knows the answer, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, actually, I might have something here. I feel like there's something called the Pit.
The Pit is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and is the correct
Very good.
answer. Good job. Yeah, Wise Pies Arena just doesn't have the same feel, does it?
Yeah, so I assume that's
That's a
UNM.
pizza
I-
restaurant. It is.
I just have a memory of hearing about a place where people play sports called the Pit. I assume
Yes.
now UNM. I did not know.
Yeah,
that
it was
until
where
now.
it was where Jim Valvano ran around after they beat Houston. Ben, Sea of Tranquility is a popular 2022 speculative fiction novel by what author? She also penned Station 11 and The Glass Hotel.
Mendel.
Yep, Emily St. John Mandel
St.
is
John
correct. Yep. Next, episode 847 of Sesame Street was pulled after its initial 1976 airing because parents complained their children were scared of what guest character, played by her original actress from 1939. The actress had appeared on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood the year before as herself to prove she wasn't evil, or green. Note, name the character.
Wicked Witch.
Yeah, of the West, but I
Oh,
mean, Wicked
yeah.
Witch of the East doesn't have very many lines in that film.
Just a disembodied parallel.
Yeah. And finally, in dialect coach Eric Singer's technique critique videos for Wired, he praises the epenthesis and vowels of what performer in his role as Idi Amin.
Whitaker.
Yeah, epenthesis is when you put extra vowels after consonants, like "It's a me, Mario," which is a feature of a Ugandan accent. Anyway, Tucker. The college drinking game, sometimes known as Snappa, mainly involves what gaming object? Opposing players throw this with the goal of landing it in their opponent's cup or hitting the table and bouncing out.
I'm missing something. What?
Ten seconds.
I mean, I'm just gonna say ping pong ball.
It is not. David.
I'll pass.
Dan.
I'll pass.
Ben.
Pass.
This is beer die. If you ever played that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would not have been my guess. Glad I
Yeah.
passed.
I considered it. Oh well.
Yep. Yeah. Tucker. The A24-year-old guy joke is a little more accurate for what director of X and its prequel Pearl, both released with A24 in 2022.
Okay, I'm less guilty in this case. Ty West.
Ty West is correct, yes. And masa dough is filled with a variety of different items and steamed in a corn husk or banana leaf to make what Mexican dish with a name that originates with the Aztecs?
No, tamale.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Absolutely that. Yes.
I expect to never get my food questions right, so I'll take it.
This one's not exactly pitched high. Yeah, Dan,
They're all pitched on me.
the soundtrack to what 80s film spawned several hits with more minor songs, including Hot Summer Nights by Miami Sound Machine and Destination Unknown by Marietta.
Uh,
10 seconds.
Scarface.
It is not. David?
Is this Dirty Dancing?
Oh, Tucker.
Is it Beverly Hills Cop?
It is not. Ben?
Top Gun.
It is Top Gun.
Oh,
Correct.
oh,
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good get. Oh.
Yeah, Destination Unknown is dope. If that had been Miami Sound Machine song, it would have been a hit. But who is Marietta? does spring to mind. Anyway, Dan. The former Theo Huxtable and the comedian who played the title role in Undercover Brother gave their first names to the title of what UPN comedy series of the late 1990s? 10 seconds.
Malcolm and Eddie.
Yes, Malcolm and Eddie is correct. There's Malcolm Jamal Warner, of course, and Eddie Griffin, perhaps less, of course.
Yes, that was the one I was having
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard Malcolm in just about everything this week so far. Dan. Sheffield United's anthem, known as the Greasy Chip Buddy song, plays homage to various non-fancy pleasures, including the namesake French fry sandwich, before saying, like Sheffield United, come fill me again. It is a version of what hit song of the 1970s, titled for the songwriter's wife?
Annie's song.
You fill up my senses like a packet of woodbines. That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Well done. Okay. Moving back to the top with David. David, sometimes the A24 joke goes, a 24-year-old will try to explain this film to you over dinner. Dev Patel certainly had to explain to interviewers his starring role in What Unusual film of 2021, directed by David Lowery and released by A24.
The Green Knight.
Is correct. Next. Book Lovers is a 2022 popular romance novel by what author? She also penned People We Meet on Vacation and Beach Read.
Henry.
It is. And which singer and actress adopted a gray tabby in 2021 and named her Poseidon, partly in honor of her Under Siege starring role in a live-action Disney remake? She and her sister sing in a namesake R&B group whose breakthrough album was 2020's Ungodly Hour.
Bailey. Is that
Yes,
enough?
people 50 years from now will look back and be like, how did Halle Berry play The Little Mermaid? It is Halle Bailey. That's correct. All right. Ben. A 2022 inductee into the Toy Hall of Fame, what Mattel product debuted in 1981 with 5.5-inch figures and a line of mini comics that accompanied them? Please do not give the name of a character from this line.
Masters of the Universe.
It is Masters of the Universe. Yeah, there was no show until 3 years later, which I thought was interesting. Ben. In 1879, Arthur Soden of the Boston Red Stockings proposed which scheme wherein teams in the National League designate players other teams were not allowed to hire during the offseason. It was the center of lawsuits and antitrust hearings, persisting until the 1975 Kurt Flood case.
The Reserve Clause
is right. And next, the soundtrack to what 80s film spawned several hits with more minor songs, including Somebody's Eyes by Carla Bonoff and The Girl Gets Around by Sammy Hagar.
Don't have it. Pass.
Okay. Dan?
Also don't have it.
David?
I'm going to keep guessing Dirty Dancing.
It's not. Tucker?
I'm not going to guess pass.
It's Footloose. It's-
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
a plausible guess.
It was.
Absolutely. More Kenny Loggins adjacency there for you. And Tucker. The Great McGrady, a 2009 episode of Arthur, was completely remade after what athlete's doping controversy went public, replacing him with wrestler Uncle Slam in all future airings and streaming versions. The original athlete provided guidance to Arthur and his friends after they learned that lunch lady Mrs. McGrady had cancer.
Armstrong.
Yes, I love this fact, and I didn't
Yeah.
know it before before reading that quad by Victoria. So it was good stuff. Starring a member of the original Kings of Comedy, what show titled For His Family ran on ABC from 1998 to 2000 before finding a home on UPN for 2 more seasons.
The Hughleys.
The Hughleys is correct, yes. And who was the only drummer for groundbreaking punk band The Runaways? She had her own namesake band for many years after they disbanded.
Can think of a couple people who this isn't. Ford.
No. Dan?
West.
Sandy West is correct. Yeah, not Lita Ford. Yeah.
Good bet.
Yeah. Dan. Core States, Wachovia, and First Union were all name sponsors of what Philly arena that hosted the 1976 and 1981 Final Fours. Its floor usually sported a rainbow-esque strip of different colors along one sideline or at the center circle.
Spectrum.
Yeah, that's why they did that, presumably. Next. The college drinking game, known as Slap Cup, has many variations, including Rage Cage and Chandelier. It is also named after what mascot due to its popularity at UC Santa Barbara?
Oh, I was about to say something, but that's UC Santa Cruz. Crap. What the hell is UC Santa Barbara's mascot? Ugh. Gross. Well, just on the 1% chance that I got wires crossed in my brain. Banana slug.
No, sir. David?
Ferrero.
No. Tucker?
Gaucho.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
one Hispanic stereotype
Yeah.
mascot of a Southern California
Yes, I
school
was.
away. Sorry about that. But yes, the gaucho ball is what it's called sometimes. Yeah, gaucho. And though they can be covered with basically any sauce, what common dish of wrapped corn tortillas gets its name from a Spanish verb meaning to add peppers to because of their traditional red tomato chili sauce?
Enchiladas.
Yes, is correct. And so that puts you in second going into round 4. 10, 8, 7, 6. Very even on pretty much everything. So we proceed. David, Dungeons and Dragons, well known for its 20-sided dice, was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame in 2016. What object that contains a similar regular icosahedron in a cylindrical reservoir was inducted in 2018?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to see the word icosahedron in a pop culture quiz. I'm just trying to make sense of this. Okay. Yeah, that could be right. Is this a magic 8-ball?
Yep.
Well done.
It's a D20 inside of a little cylinder inside of a ball. That is correct. Yes, absolutely. Good job. Next, without a dream in their heart or a love of their own, Manchester City stole what pre-match song from Crewe Alexandra Football Club in 1989? A famous doo-wop version of this Rodgers and Hart song went to #1 for the Marcells.
Blue Moon.
Is correct.
Nice.
And the college drinking game of beer pong has many variations. In which variation, named for a particular conflict, do teams play 3 versus 3, in which each player has an individual stack of cups in front of them and can rapid fire ping pong balls as soon as they have one? Ten seconds.
It's a Gulf War.
No, sir. Dan?
Pass.
Ben?
I will pass.
Tucker.
Yeah, I'll pass.
It is called Civil War.
Yeah,
Of course, it was
okay.
of course first
That
played
easy,
at
huh?
first
All
played
right.
at a Berlin airfield because of people disagreeing over the Sokovia Accords. Anyway, Ben. The most common type of pepper used in chiles rellenos is what relatively mild pepper native to the state of Puebla. The dried version of this pepper is called an ancho.
Poblano.
Yeah, that's what you call someone from Puebla. Perhaps that's surprising. Next. In 2018, which star of Shake It Up alongside Zendaya was the subject of bemused media coverage when she was revealed to have 19 cats, as she felt that having her first cat Lola spayed would be barbaric. In 2020, she was accused of gentrifying OnlyFans as she joined the platform and earned over $2 million within her first week there.
Thorn.
It is Bella Thorne. Next. Who was the drummer for most of the active years of the Velvet Underground? Unconventional in many ways, she rarely used cymbals and played standing up with mallets.
Pass.
Okay. Dan.
Mo Tucker.
Mo Tucker. Maureen
that's
Tucker is correct. Yes. Tucker. That's weird. I didn't do that on purpose or anything.
How could you have?
Yeah. I mean, I knew what seat people were in before I shuffled the packet, so I could have, but I didn't. Anyway, Tucker. The War Production Board's 1942 regulation L85 mandated a reduction in the amount of fabric used in clothing, leading to a particular style of beachwear that gained what name after a post-war atomic test?
Bikini?
Yeah. Next. The soundtrack to what 80s film spawned several new hits, but is made up largely of older songs, including Love is Strange by Mickey and Sylvia and Stay by Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs.
Is this Dirty Dancing?
It
Yeah.
is.
If you didn't say it, I was gonna.
It sure is.
It wasn't
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
to you.
Love is Strange by Mickey and Sylvia is, and What Do You Call Your Lover? But that's that whole scene, and What Do You Call Your Lover Boy? Like all
That very first question. Okay, this quad's gonna have Flashdance, Dirty Dancing, Footloose, and something else.
It almost didn't.
I
Yeah, I had a few other options, but yeah, it was mostly canonical ones. I enjoyed asking about the lesser known hits. Anyway, Tucker. Which St. Louis Cardinals executive is credited with devising the minor league farm system, despite Kennesaw Mountain Landis's objections that this will allow teams to bypass the draft?
Ricky?
Yeah, it is. Branch Rickey, of course, better
Oh.
known for his work with another team later, but
Yeah.
yes, he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, very important guy.
Dan. In dialect coach Eric Singer's technique critique videos for Wired, he singles out what legendary actor's terrible portrayal of Genghis Khan in 1956 as the Conqueror by just saying, "Who the fuck let this happen?"
We're all looking for the guy who did this. That is John Wayne.
Yes, that's correct. Next. Multiple episodes of what 90s family sitcom were pulled from syndication on Disney Channel that aired during the show's original ABC run. One in particular from 1998 dealt with Corey Matthews' best friend Sean developing a drinking problem and physically pushing girlfriend Angela into a wall when she confronts him about it.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah, calm down, Ryder Strong. Geez. And finally, The Candy House is a 2022 science fiction novel by what author? She also penned A Visit from the Goon Squad.
Egan.
Yes, Jennifer Egan is correct, and that's a tie. This game is super even. Look at that, guys. That's really cool.
I'll let you to say that. In tier 1, 4 points down.
Well, 4 points down. No, but I mean, you also have 8 owns. So yeah, this is good stuff. I'm enjoying myself, and we're about to be done. So let's.
I can name one female drummer. Probably not who you're going to ask. Find out.
I'm trying to think if I could only name one female.
I can name a few. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that it's going to be one of the harder ones I can name.
Last name acceptable. Which member of the White Stripes?
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if somehow I had like obliquely clued it to her, but I didn't. So we're all safe. Anyway, moving on. David. Monique and Countess Vaughn starred as the title sisters on What Moesha spinoff that ran from 1999 to 2004.
The Parkers.
Is right. Next. In dialect coach Eric Singer's technique critique videos for Wired, he praises the lip syncing work of what actress and what's love got to do with it, saying she's figured out exactly how Tina Turner sang.
That is Angela Bassett.
Is correct. And starting in a band called Edie and the Eggs that featured John Waters' film actress Edith Massey, who replaced Alyssa Bello as drummer for the Go-Go's and has ever since been associated with that group.
Yep, I was right. I could name one drummer. It's not this person. Let's see. What lucky guest do I want to go here? How about Jones?
Sorry. Ben?
Pass.
Tucker?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Dan?
Gina Shock.
It is Gina Shock.
Very nice.
Could be a big bonus there.
By the way, I had forgotten about Meg White. The drummer I was thinking of was Honey Landry from the Honeycombs.
Oh, that's
That's a tough one.
Predates by a few decades.
I was hoping for Kate Schellenbach, but
Yeah, there were some options. We had Schemmel, Schellenbach, and Shock. I would have needed to find a fourth. That'd be pretty cool.
or Weiss, the unsung hero of Slater Kinney.
Yeah, that was an option, but yeah, I think this was the right group. I think, but anywho, Ben. The college drinking game called Louisville Chugger or the Spins is better known by what name? In this game, a version of which is sometimes played without drinking. The player must chug a beer out of a wiffle bat while others count off how many seconds it took them to finish chugging. They must then spin around with their forehead on the bat and then attempt to hit the can.
Nope. Pass.
Okay, Tucker.
Yeah, pass.
David.
Pass.
Dan.
Don't know it. Pass.
It's Dizzy Bat, which is
No.
the thing you
Dizzy
play
Bat,
at
okay.
camp and stuff.
I
like
have
that.
heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was very fun. You and Monroe's reaction was, "What the hell is a wiffle bat?" New Zealand. I was like, "Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a thing over there at all."
Did they have whiffle for cricket? By chance, I don't know.
I presume not, because you play with a tennis ball or something, right?
Yeah.
That cricket, you need a big space. You just do. Anyway, Ben, the only arena named for a coach who won the Final Four to have later hosted a Final Four. What centerpiece of the Lexington Center commercial area hosted the 1985 edition?
Rupp Arena.
Rupp Arena is correct, yes. And sometimes the A24 joke goes, a 24-year-old thinks these are the only movies that exist. We can't test that on the still 19 years old Elsie Fisher, star of what 2018 coming-of-age dramedy, which was also a famous person's directorial debut.
8th grade.
Is correct. Bo Burnham, of course. All right. Tucker, named for their original small flat packaging used in the 1950s, what die-cast toy brand originally marketed by Britain's Lesney Company was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame in 2019? Its early units included a replica MG Midget.
Matchbox?
Yeah. Next. Resurrected in the 2010s and originally from 1996, what pop anthem of England's national team with its repeated line, "Football's coming home, it's coming home," is a song by the Lightning Seeds named for the team crest?
We'll say 3 lines.
It is called that. And To Paradise is a 2022 popular dystopian fiction novel by what author? She also penned A Little Life.
This is the first one I haven't heard of. Who's a popular writer? Hoover.
Sorry, David.
I'll pass.
Ben.
Pass.
Dan.
Pass.
Okay, that is Hanya Yanagihara.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Name I've seen.
Lately, but yeah. All right, Dan. Which professional baseball league signed a number of Major League Baseball players at huge salaries in 1946, leading the major leagues to blacklist those players in a move that would lead to a successful lawsuit against it by Danny Gardea? This non-U.S. league still exists today. It was considered a AAA minor league until 2020, although its teams are not farm teams to major league clubs.
The Federal League.
Sorry, David?
The Dominican League.
No. Ben?
Mexican League.
Yes, it is the LMB, Mexican League. Dan, all 4 members of which musical group have pets who are famous on social media? Rosé's mixed breed pup Hank has 3.5 million Instagram followers on Instagram. Sorry. And per his bio, a very happy tail, while Jenny's Pomeranian Kuma has been dubbed the boss of this group.
Blackpink.
It is Blackpink. And finally, Sir. In 1953, Claire McCardell commissioned dance apparel company Capezio to make what now classic type of shoe with a rubber sole for everyday use? 10 seconds.
So. Espadrille, it's not.
Sorry, Tucker.
Pass.
David.
Pass.
Ben.
Yeah, I'll pass.
It is the ballet flat.
It has a
And
rubber sole.
it
Okay.
did at the time.
Yeah.
They don't all, but they mostly do.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was
Well done,
that was
Ben.
a hell of a
Yeah,
match.
That was
Great
fortunate.
game,
Yeah.
everybody.
That was really good.
Great job, everybody, but
Yeah,
congrats on the win, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
well
you.
done,
So
Ben.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ahead
very
and
good
shut
game.
this down so that people have to find the set to get the spares, but we can play them off anyway. Good,
The spares
really,
don't show
really.
up on the spreadsheets. And that's
No,
all.
they don't.